Hi! Multi-effects pedals and ukuleles. I know, I was a little bit unfair because I started with my Flight Pathfinder, which is a steel string, but there we are, there's an electro acoustic as well. So I'm just going to take a little look at effects pedals, but multi-effects pedals today. I've had a few questions and comments asking for this, so I'm just going to take a very quick look with different ukuleles at a couple of different multi-effects that I've got in the house. Now, a lot of the multi-effects I've got are quite old and they're all discontinued, but you can pick them up second-hand and things. Multi-effects are a great way of getting into pedals, so let's just dive straight in. So this one is the RP155. I'm just trying to get a better camera angle for you there as well. This is actually a school pedal. I keep this at factory settings. All right, I'll explain a bit more about that in a moment. But basically, it means that somebody can come along, put in a number. So as you can see there, there's quite a few options. You've got your two pedals as well, because obviously it is meant to go on the floor. All right. But as I said, factory settings on this one, because otherwise a pupil can come along the following week, go to play something or record something, and all of their settings have gone. All right. If you do buy a multi-effects second hand and it's got loads of weird and wonderful things that somebody's programmed in, go on YouTube. It's easy enough normally to find how to reset these, either in the manual or there'll be a video showing you how to do it. I had to look it up a few times when we first had this one. So there's a lot of information on here on the multi-effects. I am not going into these in detail at all today. We're going down a rabbit hole. I've spent hours messing around today already with them. So basically what you've got is an input for your instrument, an output for your amp, and a power, and that's it. So they are fairly easy to carry around. On and off generally. With the pedals, you can have standby, and you've got a tuner built in as well. And what you'll find is a lot of the factory settings, some of them are great, some of them you're never going to use. So to really get a benefit from having a multi-effects pedal, you need to learn how to use it so you can really tweak and mess around and get the sort of sounds that you're looking for. So I've got an electro acoustic ukulele, and remember, depending what type of instrument you're putting through a pedal is really going to change the way it sounds. So all I'm going to do is just flip through a few of these using this, and we'll try a different instrument then as well. I'm just literally going through. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen next with this pedal, because as I said, it's a school one and it's just on the factory settings. Now I've only got to 9, there are dozens on here, all right? Now the idea is you've got your factory presets, and then you can go in and actually tweak all the settings, all right, using the different separate effects that are built in on these. you can see there. Now what tends to happen with these is you'll have 2 sets. Okay, certainly on one of my other pedals, which is the Digitech. So say 1 to 50 will be 1 set, and then they are doubled up. So if you do go messing about and you change 1 to 50, you can still find the factory presets, say on 51 to 99. All right. Yeah, I wanted to go to 81 because when I was messing about with this earlier, I thought that's a really different. It's not all Roxy. I don't plan these videos very much, but I did have, as I said, I've been playing with these all day for hours and hours. And I did find a couple of different ones that I just wanted to point out. So this one would be some kind of a pitch shifter or an octave. Okay, I'm only plucking 1 string, but that's what's coming out. You can and will waste hours. All I've done is swapped ukes a minute, steel string, so more like electric guitar pickups and setup, and the reaction to effects. Now, the effects is still on 96, what I just played in my electro acoustic, but I'm guessing it's going to sound a bit different. And just working our way back, what did I do? 92. Ooh. So there's your sort of octave, and I'll just run through a couple more quickly on here. So I actually just went up to 99 and it bounced me back to 1 again. I did warn you, honestly, it's a dark place to start messing around with effects. A brilliant thing about some multi-effects, well, the more modern ones I'm guessing, but certainly this one has got a looper and a drum machine built in. Now that's a really handy thing to have, especially if you're buying something relatively cheap, maybe second-hand. I'm not going to demonstrate the looper right now, but here's a little bit of the drums. And again, it's completely programmable. You can find loads and loads of different drum beats, change the tempo, change the style of it. Brilliant fun. Another really good question I do get asked, can you put your bass ukuleles with a guitar pedal? Simple answer is yes. They don't always react in quite the same way. And remember as well, with bass ukuleles, you get electro acoustic, solid body, but rubber string, and metal string bass ukes as well. So each of those is going to react differently with each kind of pedal, but do they work? Yes. And really, the only way of finding out is to have a go. Finally, BY is standby, all right, which basically means it still works, but there's no effects. So yes, your bass ukuleles do work with guitar effects pedals. They haven't necessarily got the most suitable sounds programmed in, but they do work. But, this is a big but, don't go putting bass ukuleles or bass guitars through normal guitar amps, okay? They are not designed for the lower frequencies. Another Digitech pedal, this one's my BP80, it's actually the first pedal that I bought. It's a bass pedal, okay? And I bought it bass guitar and cello and ended up using it with electric strings. So just a very, very quick closer look at the BP80. It's a little less frightening. There's a lot less things on here, okay? But it's the same sort of thing. You've got all the different individual effects. Sometimes they've got amp models. Sometimes, there we are, there's the two pedals. This bit here is an expression pedal for volume or wah. And again, like the other Digitech, it's got a built-in drum machine, but this one hasn't got a looper built in too. This works just as well with an electro acoustic ukulele as it does with a bass. It's how you want to use them. So, you know, if you suddenly find a bass pedal laying around, don't be frightened. It's not going to break your ukulele anyway. Just to give you the simplest ideas of how, and remember this is a bass pedal going through an electro acoustic, how you can use all the different features on this as well as on your bass ukuleles or your steel stringed ukuleles. So steel string ukulele going through a bass multi-effects pedal, it works. That's a bit loud. I pointed to the decibel reader then. I was playing that as quietly as I could because I could see the audio clipping out a bit and I was just curious as to how loud it goes. So yes, of course, our bass ukuleles work with our multi-effects bass pedals. I have a feeling this video is going to end up being a lot longer than I wanted it to, so I'm actually going to skip what I'd planned to do for my next pedal, which is this one, which is the Digitech RP155. You can see there, hopefully anyway, there's a lot of information on there, but it's just like all these others, all right? You start twiddling the dials and finding the sounds you like and storing it, and you can come up with absolutely stacks of brilliant effects that you're going to use. You can also waste hours and hours and hours going through the presets and just finding weird and wonderful sounds, which is what I spend a lot of time doing. This looks bigger, it is bigger. It's a more expensive pedal. It's a Boss GT6B bass pedal, but just for you to have an idea, it's exactly the same to set up. I've just put the power in now. All I'm going to do next is, it's a beast, mind, it's heavy. The input, in other words, the instrument goes in, guess what, input, and the output, in other words, my amp, is going into this case, the left output, and it actually says mono. Hopefully the top camera will pick that up now. So there we go. This is the Boss. It's a bass processor, but there is a guitar equivalent, although again, this one is quite old now. I'm just trying to switch this camera on so you can get a slightly better look. Right, let's just take a quick look. This is the Boss GT6B. It's a bass pedal. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff on here. There is a guitar equivalent, all right? It's a hefty bit of kit to carry around. This isn't far off a sort of, you know, quite a large, heavy pedal board size. Just like the other pedals, this has got an awful lot of preset stuff off there. And with this one, when you really get to know how to use it, you can absolutely tweak it to get almost any sound that you want. Octave or pitch shifter on a bass, that's very low. That's quite a nice octave, that one. Don't play that if you're hungry. Okay, so I just wanted to show you very quickly that yes, you can put a ukulele through a bass pedal. So I think we've learnt you can put ukuleles, both nylon string and steel string, bass ukuleles, both rubber string and metal string, through guitar and bass multi-effects pedals. Some of the pros and cons then of multi-effects as opposed to your single pedals and pedal boards. Probably the most obvious is that yes, it's easier to pick something like this up, plug yourself in and start making sounds noises, music, using different effects. They're easier to carry around. You're talking about one bit of kit, you know, some of the pedals. This one, for example, is really quite small, much, much smaller than any of my pedal boards. Many of them have inbuilt loopers, drum machines. You can plug headphones into a multi-effects pedal. And they are a great way of getting started messing about with effects. So there's some pros, some cons. They are fiddly, all right? To really, really get to use one of these properly, you need to find the manual or watch videos and go in and really start to learn how to get the best sounds from your pedal. And this might just be me, but I have a feeling there are less multi-effects pedals around now than they were a few years ago. That might just be me looking in the wrong places and things, but it seemed to be, when I first started getting into pedals 15, 20 years ago, there was a huge array of different pedals you could get, from, you know, cheap up to expensive. Yes, they're still cheap up to expensive, but there seems to be a few less of them around now. So get a multi-effects if you're really not sure where to start. It's a good way of learning about some of the effects. And remember, you know, if somebody comes along and says, oh yeah, I got a bass multi-effects pedal, and you're thinking, oh, well, I can't use that, I've got a ukulele. You can at least try it. You're not going to break anything at all. As you've seen today, I've put bass ukuleles and ukuleles through both guitar and bass pedals. So there we go. I do hope you've enjoyed that and you've found it useful rather than making your brains explode. I've had great fun today, and remember, if you're going to go down the effects pedal route, whether it's multi-effects pedals or single pedals and pedal boards, it's a slippery slope. If you've got a comment or a question, please feel free, leave it below, give us a like if you've enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you for watching.